The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation is brought to you by Alive, Bahamas Welding and Fire, Bonneville Bones, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, ESC Distributors Limited, Grand Bahama News, Hallsbury Chambers, Popeyes, Printmasters, and Ron's Electric Motors.
The Foundation. The Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The Foundation live and in full effect on this beautiful Monday afternoon. Grateful to be in your company. Grateful to chop the thing down with you. Hope that you're ready to dive into some conversations. It seems like it's me, you, and Irene. My God. Or me, myself, and I. Is that the De La Soul? Is that De La Soul? I can need to hear that, producer. Me, myself, and I. Yeah, because it seems as though this is sort of the trend that we're moving towards, with a lot of persons consumed with this sort of an idea and gravaliciousness. My God, this kind of an idea of being able to capture all for me, baby, is erupting in our society as we recognize and do our best to hold on to every little piece of thread that we can. My God. You ever ask a little older person how they doing? How you doing? Well, I right here, baby, trying to do. I right here, baby, trying to hold on. And I always imagine older folks between a rope that's been broken and doing their best to pull it together. And doing their best to represent the link between yesterday and tomorrow by holding that thing together. And you ask them, you say, how you doing? I right here, baby, I trying to do. I right here, I just holding on. That is where we are in this society right now. That is where we are in this society right now as water and sewage looks for an increase even in your private well in your house. Jesus. We're going to have a good conversation about it, guys. I want you guys to be able to dive into it and chop it down with me today. It's a beautiful day. Grateful to be in your company. Grateful to be in your space. I got to shout out my good decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They got everything laid out for you. Make sure if you are in the market, if you are in that kind of a space that you want to be able to get your insurance, whether that's personal insurance, home, whatever insurance that you're looking for, right? If you want to be able to get that, check out my guys over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They are my guys. Make them your guys today. Give them a call. 341-1-AFS. That's 341-1-AFS. Located number 407 Blue Hill Road South. Right down there on the eastern side of the Golden Gate Shopping Plaza. Actually, my good friend, Ethric Bowe, or my very good friend, Mr. Richardson, he can be able to take very good care of you in that particular space. Guys, check them out 9 to 5 on the weekdays, 9 to 2 on Saturday. Okay? So we got that thing taken care of. Grateful to be in your company. Now, listen, make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. This thing is in there. There is so much for us to talk about today. This is crazy. There is just so much for us to talk about today. Has there been any consideration given to the populace? Has there been any consideration for the job that you have, that it's not unto your own merit, your own strength, and you're not doing this unto yourself, that you have an obligation, a responsibility, a requirement to commit yourself to service for the masses? We, i.e., that's us. The collective, that's us. The electorate, that's us. The masses. That your service that you rendered is not to ensure that you're content within the confines of what you say you spoke. Well, my God, at least you can't say I ain't do it. I do it, eh? That is not what you're here for. You're here to rectify issues that continues to be able to disturb the peace and tranquility of our environment. That's it. You're here to ensure that you can maintain the peace and tranquility, forward movement, and the focus of our people. That's what you're here for. with decency. I just want to talk like this. Pick up the Guardian newspaper. Corruption probe to end by December 31st. UK investigation assisting with abroad. Fernanda says. This is what Fernanda says. Assisting from abroad. This is what Fernanda says. This is... I won't be decent with this. How do I structure this? Let's read a little piece of it first. Commissioner of Police Clayton Fernanda has assured that the investigation into the audio recording allegations corruptions within the Criminal Investigation Department will be concluded before the end of the year. An investigation is like a puzzle. This is what Fernanda indicated during the recent appearance on ZNS TV, The Rundown with Clint Watson. Let me be decent. So it says The Rundown with Clint Watson. As you move, you put a piece here and a piece here, and at the end of the day, you have a perfect photo. And they are nearing that. This is what he indicated. And he says, he added, I won't put a timeline, but I'm certain that shortly we will be able we won't go any further than before this year is out. This is what he's indicating. Now, I know some investigations have gone into cold cases that you haven't found out exactly what you want over the course of time, after relentless pursuit, after the contribution of every established pillar of our society, including the Fourth Estate, that's bringing information to the forefront, that's always bringing this information to kind of talk about that. This is what we've seen. This is what we see from an international standpoint. This is what we recognize and understand what investigative journalism is from our standpoint, all right, from the Fourth Estate standpoint. But we understand the importance of being able to have a thorough investigation. The participation of persons from overseas to being able to come over here and identify those things is commendable in theory. Can I say that? It's commendable in theory. But the practical application in identifying these things from the inception to this particular point is absolutely far-fetched for me. I don't understand what's happening. When you indicated that these persons were coming from Scotland Yard, you said that they're coming on this day and they're leaving on this day, which was peculiar to me. Are they just coming for the purposes of showing a face? Are they just coming for the purposes of showing good face? Are they really here to be able to investigate these things? When you came down, see, and this is why we need transparency in every arm of government to be able to get to these things. When they came down, did you have certain people already lined up to ask them certain things? These people, and were these people who you had lined up to ask them to be questioned by them? Were they prepped? I just want to be very clear with you. You see, you have to run from the very appearance of corruption. You have to run from the very appearance of evil. This appears to be by design. Can I say that? Is it okay for us to talk like this today? It's Monday morning, fresh, live. I hope you had a good weekend. I washed cars this weekend. I take the children to the beach this weekend. I had a great time. I take the dog out to the beach. We had a good time. We were chilling. Yeah. So you re-energized, and it's time for us to be able to look with sober eyes at this situation. And as we look at this, I have real life questions. And the questions that I have, when you brought these persons, you indicated that they were coming down. We read into the newspapers and identified these things. You had already indicated that they're coming down at a particular time and then they will be leaving at this time. How the hell you could buy the tickets to leave? This is not a vacation these people are on. They come here to investigate things. How you can tell me when they're leaving? They shouldn't know when they're leaving either. You only leave when you identify, at least you could be able to pull a thread to say, okay, follow this thread, and we should be able to get to an objective. That's not happening here. And now you're coming in the papers indicating we should shut this whole thing down by the year's end. How? When the coroner's court is indicating to me, and persons are indicating to me, when we're looking at one thing, these allegations, speculations, and all these particular things with more than 10 officers involved in shootings. How? See, to the untrained lay person's eye, to the naked eye, those persons who are just merely viewing from a social standpoint, all of these things are connected. The only way they can be able to disconnect and you can isolate them and have a very clear conversation about that is with transparency. You cannot do that and lead your own investigation. I just want to be decent as I say this. You cannot do this and lead your own investigation. This is going to lead to an all-time low morale. I've already gotten calls. I try to be so decent on this people microphone, you have no idea. I try to be decent on this microphone that is charged by the Prince of Persia. I just try to be decent on this because I've already gotten calls to indicate that the morale within the Royal Bahamas Police Force is at an all-time low. That you have to make significant calls to persons who are they're not permanent and pensionable. These are the recruits. These are the reserves. These are those persons who are working part-time for you. After they finish their jobs, then they come here to participate and be able to give their volunteer time. In this particular state, I've already gotten calls from deep within the staff association. I've already gotten calls. Oh, Howard, who talking to Howard in here? Y'all shut your mouth up. Keep looking straight. Don't ask no. Because I'm decent enough not to be able to spill the whole beans. But I'm saying to you that this doesn't look good. That people have decided that they are leaving the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Young men who have families have put in for their retirement to leave the force, many of them leaving by the end of this year, many of them leaving next year. This is information that I've received. That they don't want any association with even the stench and the perception, the idea of corruption, because that isn't what they're getting this thing for. And now you're leading your own investigation. Now you're coming out here and telling us that by the end of this, there should be a representative. Separate and apart, an entity with the autonomy that speaks with clarity and transparency, an entity that we can all trust, to know that this entity that is like a silo unto itself will be able to investigate this with transparency and honesty, with the intent of weeding out corruption. You cannot run your own investigation on yourself and then tell us it can be over by here. We don't want to hear that. You ain't give us enough information to indicate nobody going down. You haven't brought anyone to the forefront. There is no transparency. My God, by this time I expected to at least see 4 scapegoats. You all got to take a blow for the team. Nothing. And you want this to go away. Well, this is not politics. This is the working of government. This is an expectation. My God, you know how we believe we don't have nobody to turn to. When people killing our children, no matter how bad the children is and things like that, say, yeah, we don't expect you to go shoot them down in the street like dog. People breaking into our house, stealing our car, all these things. We don't even know who to talk to in this society if we know something. Now everybody mouth tight because you investigating unto yourself. Let's go right back to the PLP. Goes right back to this New Day administration who's made a commitment that they can be able to deal with some stuff. Yeah, it rises and falls on leadership. If it rises and falls on leadership, then it goes right back to the PLP. By being able to form a Freedom of Information Act, an Integrity Commission, an Ombudsman Bill, new Public Disclosure, an Anti-Corruption Act, a Campaign Finance Reform, Code of Conduct, Whistleblowers Act, Electoral Campaign Act, and a Procurement Act. This is what the PLP say they can do. But they're sitting back and letting the chief of police take on this particular position and being able to identify these things and justifying this through a skewed perspective and being able to say, well, we didn't break the law. We may have manipulated it and bent it into a peculiar shape, unrecognizable shape, but it's not broken. And we, the lay people, got to sit back here and identify this thing and say, Well, you know, it is what it is. Whilst our brothers and sisters are dead, whilst there are allegations about a significant amount of money that has been stolen from the armor truck people and all these things, and all social speculation continue to be able to rise to the forefront about who is dead based upon who is affiliated with that, and nobody bringing a red cent. Jesus, you all then take the children out based upon allegations, based upon what we've seen, and nobody collect no money yet. What is happening? What is happening? I just wonder. I need to understand. This is only Howard. Howard just need to understand. If you call me, well, Howard, you know, what happened is that they fined $1,500. Say something. People then get dressed up and go and made clothes and went to these children's funeral. The children in the ground, dead with their arm crossed, now gone. You all ain't bring no money, you ain't bring no resolution, you ain't bring nothing. But you can tell me, oh yeah, but the corruption probe should be ended by December 31st. How, Sway? How? I'm not going to fight you. I just need clarity. I need clarity. I need understanding. Because what you're saying to me is that we're going to put this baby to bed, whether he's sleepy or not. Because now we got to get into real campaign mode for the PLP, and this needs to be behind us. Not that you're seeking to rectify this issue for our society. Not that you want to bring real resolve and eradicate the corruption that's existing within the confines of the Royal Bahamas Police Force and Uniform Branch. No. All you want to do is shut up quickly. Let's put this bed quickly so we can move on with the major campaign. Is that what's going on? Don't talk to me, man. I just want to be decent as I say this. I want to be decent as I say this. At a New York City event, Prime Minister renews a call for greater climate financing. See, you're going right back at it again. Boom. I need to hear that. This is the second campaign. This is the strongest campaign coming from Prime Minister Brave Davis. This is an amazing campaign. From a global standpoint, I would vote for him to be the Prime Minister for climate change. I swear. He's very good at this. He's articulate, he's insightful, he's present at anything to do with climate change. He's present. He is forceful and persistent in this kind of a commitment. But when we start to talk about campaign finance reform, well, it ain't really, it ain't, I don't know, the people I talk to, a few people who walk around me, it ain't really much. They can't get into my inner circle. But those who happen to break into the inner circle, I hear from them. And they don't really care about campaign finance reform. Not that I ask them, but they don't really care about it because they're too busy asking me for contract because, they're trying to take care of themselves. They was asking me for jobs and other things like that. They're not concerned about these things. And what we want to do within the confines of our organization is to ensure that we can satisfy those people, the 5 of them, who broke into the inner circle and the inner sanctum of what we're doing in my position as Prime Minister to tell me about that. But forget about those intellects. Those intellectual persons who've been doing significant work on this, the National Development Plan that we made a commitment to, and the PLP to say that we're going to make modifications to this and identify how we can rectify that. Forget about those things. We are here to win. And we can't win by being able to focus on a niche market out of the 400,000 people and 200,000 voters possibly. Maybe 10% of those people care about that, and we don't have time to take care of the 10. So we'll focus on the 90 who want contract. This one for you. I don't know what you're saying. I just want to be decent today. I feel like I start off very rumply. Like, you know what I mean? Like I rumple it up a lot of things. But how long we can deal with this? This is bananas. Everybody getting it. We saw in the papers the other day, we saw Franklin Wilson in his particular capacity start to speak about Focal, Freeport Oil Company Limited, Focal, who hasn't had an increase in decades. This is what he's indicated. And they're now looking for, you see, one thing in this country, once y'all set a precedent, everybody is wait with bated breath. They don't say nothing. You don't hear nothing from nobody. But as soon as the government genuflects and acquiesce to a stupid concept and idea, after agitation, we can let y'all fight the fight.
We let y'all fight the fight. Yeah, so the retailers and all these persons start to fight the fight for petroleum. And after they won that fight and the government genuflected with 25 cents, everybody and their mother wants an increase. And we haven't seen them come out the woodworks yet. Simultaneously, we're looking for a livable wage. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. We need to get real in this country. It's Monday morning, guys. Let's shut this thing down. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300, 5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Everybody want a little something. Water and Sewage asks to put up water prices, and the proposal also calls for tax on homes with private wells. My God. Let's be decent, guys. Quick break. Be right back after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation.
Everything is bigger and better at Burger King Nassau. When you have a big appetite, BK has a royal deal for you. Get a flame grilled double Big King Jr. or an original chicken sandwich plus 4 chicken nuggets, small fries, a drink, and a fresh baked cookie for only $9.95, including that. The royal deal was built for a big appetite, and at $9.95, including that, it's a steal of a deal. Go big and enjoy the BK flavors you love with the $9.95 royal deal at Burger King Nassau.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Are you tired of the same old 5K runs? Want something more? Then get ready for the Chick Charney Challenge City Run on September 28th, starting at Crypto Wild. Test your strength, stamina, and spirit. It takes all of you to dodge, climb, conquer obstacles as you race through the heart of the city. Lace up and get to the Chick Charney Challenge City Run. Register now on our website, chickcharneychurn.com, or on our social media pages. Brought to you by Colina, Island Yogurt, Advantage Insurance, Art of Graphics, Crypto Wild, and Guardian Radio 96.9.
Want to know more about divorce, personal injury, wills, company formation, conveyances, and mortgages? Then sign up for Hallsbury Chambers' 20th Annual Free Legal Clinic. Saturday, September 28th, 2024, Village Road North. Call 393-4551 to reserve your spot today. Space is limited. Lawyers available from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Consultations only. This is a community service event sponsored by Hallsbury Chambers.
Fall is falling into place and everything you need is on sale now at BWF. Slash prices as the leaves fall. Frightfully low prices as you get ready for the season. Enjoy ridiculously low prices and save big this fall with BWF Mega Blowout Sale and 10 Sale. Up to 50% off Friday, September 27 and 10 Sale Saturday, September 28, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Huge savings include appliances, ductless AC units, generators, compressors, water pumps, automotive supplies and accessories, lawn and garden supplies, power tools, kitchen and outdoor supplies, barbecue grills, bakeware, household supplies, floral decor, Junkanoo and craft supplies, and so much more. BWF, we are more than just our name. Number 13 Wilton Street, telephone 394-0004 or 6. Check us out on Facebook. We ship to the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company. The foundation lines are wide open. My telephone is giving me a little bit of problems. I know you guys want to text in if you're texting in. I'm looking at it right now. Let me see if I can fix that for you. But give me a call, 323-6232, 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259, anywhere for the family of Islands, 242-300-5720, or hit me up 422-4796. I got a text on my personal phone. See, Howard, you still in love with Brave? Listen to me. This is the agape love of Jesus Christ. It don't deplete because of what you've done, my God. Can I say that? It doesn't deplete because of what happens from an external standpoint. This is a commitment that we've had. There's a level of respect and adoration there. Yeah, I admire this man for being persistent to get to his position. And I would ridicule him and provide constructive criticisms, because after you've attained this particular position, don't you forget why you're there. That's all this is. That's all this conversation is. This conversation ain't to say, I hate you. No, I wouldn't dare. That doesn't make sense. That'll be foolish on my part. I don't have an issue with him. But I can say to you that my expectations, my desires, is for the Prime Minister to understand the issues that really touch the heart of the Bahamian people. It is. We understand from a geopolitical, international, corporate concept and idea of what really matters for sustainability in business, for longevity of life, for the expansion of occupation, that climate change makes a difference. For the existence of many of us based upon the projections and being able to see ourselves remain and don't end up like the Atlantis of old, not the one that they made here in the Bahamas and Dubai. The Atlantis of old, washed away. I can see the agitation, and I could hear that. But there are advocates that are agitating for climate change who have no obligation to any sovereign space. Can I say that? To render at least 65 to 70% of your eggs in this proverbial basket unto climate change, your effort, your sobriety, your focus, and your commitment, your articulation, your strength, your posture. You giving all of these things to these people. We watching you, Prime Minister, watching you. You good when you step on the people's stage. You are good. I'm watching your articulation. I'm watching your presentation. I'm watching these concepts and ideas. And I said, well, what the hell? Why are you doing this when you're here? Why did you give us some of us? We want some of that. But the 35%, the 30 to 35% of what we got here in the country is lackluster. And it doesn't focus on those issues for you to be able to come. And see, you have to remember that all of us ain't your quote-unquote grassroots people. There are people, and your cabinet should tell you that. There are people who went off to school. There are people who educated themselves right here in the Bahamas. There are people who's opened their minds beyond the regurgitation of reading, writing, arithmetic to constructive criticisms, to comprehension, to an idea that, is this really good for us? It's critical thinking. People right around you pay to go to school that you have identified to serve at your pleasure. And if you could see this representation around you, even to those persons that you haven't chosen, out of the 32 men and women that make up the Progressive Liberals Party's victory, if you could see the success that exists in those particular spaces, if you listen to some of these men and women's stories about how I was the first one in my family to go to college, I was the first one to be able to step out of this, I was the first one to do this. If you could see the amount of first in you have to know that the Bahamas is changing. And if families who've never been able to incline towards education, if families who've never been able to climb towards national leadership are now pushing out their loved ones into a space to say, go and give them your best. You have to know that the Bahamas is changing. My God, we changing. And to come out here simultaneously and say that campaign finance reform is not for the most, for these 5 people who break into your inner sanctum, to ask you for a contract, to ask you for a job, to ask you for something, you reject the idea of the progressive, proud Bahamians who don't ask for nothing. We ain't asking you for nothing. Jesus Christ got us. We straight. We ain't asking, we ain't begging nobody for nothing. That's us. You know who we are. So to come out here and to indicate that you haven't heard enough about it is poor. I can tell you what we don't care about. Climate change. We couldn't care if the sky was falling right now. We hungry. We need to eat. We need to take care of our families. There are younger children who are begging for opportunities to go off to school, to be educated, to participate in national development. And we want those opportunities, and we believe we can get that with campaign finance reform, with a concept and idea of being able to eradicate the corruption that exists in these spaces. But you ain't focused on that. You want to fix the world's problems. And we have real problems here. Real problems. You all have genuflected to the Valley Boys, the dual group on the Valley Boys. You give all 2 of them $30,000. You make a commitment to those particular things. Now nobody say nothing while Joe was rowing, Everybody will see what the government can do. And then you give all of them $30,000. Now the bushwhackers need $30,000 too. We're watching you. You set the president. You set the tone. You set the tone, and it seems that you're setting the tone for calamity. You set the tone with the retailers who promised God, we can shut down everything. We can shut down listen, it don't matter if they shut that down. Or a couple trailers of gas, we will pull up on the side of the field and get our cars filled up. We don't care about that. We don't care about you acquiescing to these persons. We don't care about that. Now you have created a space where everybody looking for an increase. Let's read a little taste of this, and this is in the Tribune. I see you guys calls 323-623-2325, 4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the family violence, 242-300. 5720, or hit me up 422-4796. This phone should be up and running in 2 seconds, right? So it says a cabinet minister last night said that no formal decision has been taken on the Water and Sewage Corporation proposed an increase for the consumers' prices or impose taxes on homeowners with private wells. Leon Lundy, Minister of State for the Prime Minister's Office with responsibility for the corporation, in a message replied to the Tribune business, it's the Tribune I'm reading, right? Inquiries that said that these recommendations contained in the 2003-2028 5-year period corporation business plan, as well as an associated proposal from the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, are in the early phases of being considered by the government. Everybody want an increase. Everybody. But you have taken the liberty, the autonomy, the strength that we had in our unions, because you've already commandeered the unions. Can I have the conversation? Can we identify the trickle effect of what's happening in our society? You've already commandeered the unions, so even the strength that we had to be able to run into to find an opportunity to be able to get a better position for ourselves has been weakened by an affiliation with the PLP. That's what you've done. You've placed us in this kind of position where all we are recipients with no voice, no position, anything. That's what leadership, various leaderships have done to us in this country. And now, as the big dogs come out and say that we want our money too, because that's what's happened. This is not the first time that we've seen this. as we've seen this sort of unraveling over the past 10 years. Yeah. Over the past 10 years, from 2000 and maybe 14 years, we've seen this preparation to unravel. The formality that we've been accustomed to in our society has been eradicated with the introduction of what was happening over at the then Sheraton Hotel, would transition to the Malia Hotel and being able to be absorbed by the Bahama Hotel. And as they went to war against the unions, other hotels just sat and watched. They said nothing. Nothing, they said. And as soon as the judgment came down, we saw all of a sudden, Sandals have to fire everybody off. They have to fire everyone because the pool leaking some 14,000, if I remember the number correctly, 14,000 gallons of water a day. And because it's going to be loud when we start to jackhammer it, we're going to have to close the hotel down. But instead of just a temporary seasonal closure, what we're going to do is just fire everyone. And after we fire those persons, well, we're going to look for an opportunity to be able to come back, but you have to go through these process. This is what the hell y'all doing in this country. This is what y'all doing in this country. When you set the precedent, everyone is going to follow that mark. This is bananas, man. Bananas. Now we're sitting in this position watching you. And you don't even understand the power you wield. Because once you say yes to someone, everyone coming with the same thing. Look at Puff Daddy. He said yes to $130 million out of court settlement. Now he in jail because everybody won their money. Quick break, be right back after this.
The foundation.
The Foundation will be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music Group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Shaw, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Races Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we are back, going right to the lines, ladies and gentlemen. The Foundation with Howard Grant. Caller, you on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, Howard Grant.
Hey, what's up, my brother?
Don't fight me. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry for interrupting and calling your show, right?
What you mean, man? I won't fight
listen
you.
to me. You know why I say it. I'm trying to be a little humorous here, Howard.
Go ahead.
But we have much to talk about. You know, the thing is, Howard, it's very hard to listen to you without having an input, right? I appreciate you, but one person do I do, you know? Howard, for the human race to sit by day and day, big grown men and women, to still be sitting in this country talking with PLP and F&M, it is really heartening. I mean, it's heartening for me, right? But what I want to touch on, for the human race is being duped out of their minds, right? We're supposed to be intelligent beings, but apparently, I mean, collectively, right? I don't really see how education is really benefiting us in any event if we're not going to be conscious of global agendas. The globalists, the elites, the elitists, their concept, the direction in which they're steering the world, humanity, educated people, uneducated people are unaware because either some live in ivory towers. I want to get this through quick, Howard, as it relates to, I don't really want to talk about the police and the commissioner and with statements and et cetera, et cetera. But everyone would agree with you that they shouldn't be investigating themselves. But these recent incidents and incidents that are unfolding via the internet and the WhatsApp, et cetera, people have lost their lives, and these people are taking this for a joke, Howard Grant. In a first world country, you would have ballistics report, and you would have phone records. So all of this BS about investigating, Patelco can solve some of this problem. A financial investigation could solve this problem. Normally, we know, I was talking about dubious shootings for years on the radio with Howard. If you do a ballistics report, you will get a counter-narrative to what they were saying. So the fact that people have lost their lives, we are no better than dogs, but we will get together. I see the situation going with water and sewage ready to raise the bill and this and the bill. We will get together and fight for money because this is the terminology I prefer to use. You thought, but did you call them money, what you said? But for rapacious money goals, right? This is what it is. Now, as it relates to climate change, my question to the PM and them, where the Haitian must be getting all this wood from? They be selling the Asian woman on the corner, maybe got coal in a bags of coal. Where's she getting this wood from? You told me climate. Hey, Howard? Where you getting the wood from, Howard?
I don't know where she getting the wood from.
Yeah, but what you mean climate change? But in the tree, Howard, I was trying to show you the fast. People still buying beachfront homes. People still doing all of these things. You talking about, Ireland, this between me and you, I get angry, really, truly, when I hear people saying we could be underwater in 50 years. And Howard, that's BS, okay? It is total BS, right? Now, we know climate is changing. Let me give you an idea of one of the fastest, Howard. I can give you 70 another fastest. You know that the recycling program is a fast, right? You just was talking about the plastics. You know, carbon is involved in over 6,000 processes, right? So what I'm saying is carbon, the combustion of carbon is involved in every process. So then, if we were serious about carbon net zero, which is a bunch of BS also, the fact that you're saying it, but you're not into recycle. All right, the Guinness bottle, the Click bottles, all of these things require heat and combustion, right, to make. So you're not looking at what energy it takes to make them as far as reducing emissions. So once you're not recycling, then I know that they're not serious because they're not into really reducing carbon emissions. They're saying it, but this is a financial construct. And the fact that you're talking about recycling and you're not doing anything here about it, let's say as far as reserving the forest, the greenery and all of that, they don't see that impetus towards that. You're running a counter-narrative. Your air travel in private jets has increased more since post-pandemic because most people they didn't want to mix with the regular people. So you got a lot of millionaires buy jets. There's a guy who admitted that he's ready to sell some of his fleets. But you know how much carbon dioxide and monoxide that these things put in the atmosphere, Howard? The science behind it is so technical until I'm willing to have a real conversation, intellectual, deductive conversation with anybody, not because I'm smart than anybody, I'm dumber than everybody, but what I want to do is speak the truth. So if speaking the truth makes me smarter than somebody, then they can call me whatever name they want. But I'm not going to sit here as a human in this day and this time and be duped by this BS. And they will have people counter what I'm saying when there's no evidence. Firstly, Howard, I said I told you this before. You cannot calculate the amount of CO2 in the air. And if you believe that, then you should take your brains out and put it on the ground and beat it or give it to somebody else. Now, Sustainable Development Goals, Howard. Let me give you an idea of the fast behind all of this. This is just a financial construct here. There's something called the rewilding of America. I've been listening, Agenda 2020, Agenda 2020. It's called the Rewilding of America, the Wildlands Project, in which they're using preservation to reserve species and then cordon off areas from American people to have access to so they can control populations, have them controlling population is not just controlling the numbers or depopulating. It's also about controlling those who live here via the digital paradigm, and also through using the Wildlands Project of telling people where to live. When you look at the Earth panoramically, we don't occupy that much land on this Earth. But they're having you believe that we're overpopulated because everybody is amalgamated in the city, running here and there and watching one another. Now, 17 development goals, sustainable development goals, no poverty. You believe that, Howard? That's what they want to get rid of. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, right? I see the quality education, gender equality, cleaning up water and sanitation, affordable clean energy, decent work and economy, industry and innovations and infrastructure, reducing inequalities, substantial cities and communities, responsible consumption, climate action, life below water, life on land. That's me and you. I mean, I don't know if you know, it ain't really mean enough. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. I can stop right there. All right? Now, peace, justice, and strong institutions. That you think they really intersect? But where are the human rights organization as it relates to this model? The human rights as it relates to this model with the police and what they're doing. In other words, the police are telling me and you and every citizen, accept what they're doing and leave it at that. You don't get it, Howard? You guys don't get it? Now, as I was Googling this information, because I was off a little bit, how many people died? Well, it was basically children. It was 5 million children die from starvation each year, which is also includes those who die from malnutrition, right? So as I Googled it again today, where I did women, all people, 6,571,035. By the time I got off of the site, it already went up to 40, right? So that means 4 people have died since I just was looking at it, because the number was going up as I looked at it from starvation. And so why I'm saying that these sustainable development goals, even as I hear people talk about the solar panels, you're not looking at where they're extracting these minerals from and the children they're using in Africa, et cetera, et cetera. You're not looking at all of the chemicals that are in these solar panels. You're not looking at the inferior solar panels that come from countries that have no regulations as to what radioactive material and carcinogen things they put in these things. So what I'm saying is, with lack of knowledge, we will perish because we cherish the wrong things. We are cherishing misinformation, disinformation. When you grow marijuana and other plants, tomatoes, etc., in the greenhouse, they flourish in 800 to 1,200 parts per million. They said the Earth parts per million is 400. Now, I would like to, it's grossly exaggerated and you know what I mean? There's just no way you can calculate the amount of CO2 in the air. Now, you can calculate the amount of CO2 that comes from a known combustion of a hydrocarbon. People say fossil fuel. I prefer to say hydrocarbon because that's what they contain, hydrogen and carbon. It's no big deal here, Howard. But what I'm saying is we're being duped out of our minds. Who is standing up for the Bahamian people then? Why should, back to the law enforcement agency.
Who there to stand up for the Bahamian people? Who? Our government has an agenda from an external standpoint.
I'm not looking for any love, Howard. I hear people raising voices with the price. I had a conversation with a friend. I said, man, I ain't no price. They get up it. I don't care how high they up it. You know why? Because we only could get together and fight when the price go up. But not even human life we could cherish. And we allow entities to self-govern, self-authorize themselves, all because of political independence. They are audacious because they have the political backup. We cannot get how much citizenship was given out. It was a Bishop Basil have a voice note circulating. We had the chairman came on and talk about church and state and this and that. But just show us how much people you give citizenship. Some of these big great man and thing I say inside the newspaper, they give citizenship to them on you. So what do you want me to think? Why they giving out these citizenship? Someone giving them the money to do that? You need to tell me now that you giving out citizenship like pancake. And people, I have Haitian friends who here, born here, and they saying people getting it faster than them, all because of the influence or the money what they have. So what you want me to say?
Wow.
This place is a mess, and everybody's still running around talking about jobless.
Wow.
We can't get nowhere with this quagmire and this dilemma we're facing. I live in the inner city where there's no pity, and I can see what's going on, Howard. These people are superseding it everywhere. Yeah? Someone just put on the group that the Cuban open up a food stall on Carmichael Road. Nobody saying nothing to nobody. What kind of country we living in? People parking inside.
A whole food store.
Everything.
They call it a food store now?
They aren't driving. You don't want into nobody, Howard. I'm looking for no love. Love. The Bible didn't tell you this.
52, I appreciate what you're saying, my brother. Thank you so very kindly for your telephone call. We only got a couple of seconds before we can get the news. These are things that I noticed. You know what I said to my wife the other day? I looked at somebody's bus. We were driving. I normally do this. We were driving yesterday, and I was going to the beach. We pull out the corner down there on East Street South, And the bus stopped in front of the liquor store. I said, liquor store open on Sunday. Fella jump out, run out, go and get something. The bus on the road. And I look in the bus. All the seats wrapped in the African print. And I said, wow, this is crazy. The first time I see something like that. I wonder if this person is an African. This is what I said to myself. I said, I wonder if this person is an African. And then I turned to my wife and I said, baby, you know something? This might be one of the only countries that you could come in and truly thrive and not be a part of formal society. That you could thrive. That you could come from anywhere, have any accent, be anybody, and Bahamian people will accept you. They say the Cuban man, that's what you say in this 52 said, that the Cuban man opened up a store, food store on Carmichael, which is peculiar. I don't know if it's a food store, and I don't know if it's the same guy you're talking about, but if it's the same guy you talking about that I thinking about, he started off with a cooler of bananas. Can I let this drive run home to you? He started off with a cooler of bananas. Then he expanded, then he got a bigger cooler. Then he expanded, then he got a truck. And he put a little top on the back of the truck. Then he expanded, now he got a location. But you still in that man apartment after 25 years. Bananas! Let's talk about it. Let's take a break. Get your news. Be right back after this.
Foundation.
The Foundation will be back right after this.
The foundation. The foundation.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
I'm looking at these texts. First text I see, I just stepped out, came right back. First text I see, people defending Puff Daddy as a case. What the sick? Guys, give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the family of islands. 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, my brother, what's happening?
Right here, man. I had to call you out of my sickness, man.
You sick?
Yeah, man. I had the flu.
What?
Yeah, but I'm getting better.
That sounds
Howard,
good. Okay, go ahead.
Let me ask you something. The Prime Minister says that he is fighting for climate change. Do you think that the average Bahamian cares about climate change or thinks about climate change?
No.
Oh, so why is he fighting for that?
But see, you want me to go into depth and detail, but
no. I mean, it's but yet he is saying that the average Bahamian does not want these reforms that were promised. The average Bahamian is not concerned about the freedom of information. The average Bahamian is not concerned about campaign finance reform. The average Bahamian is not also concerned about climate change, but yet he is still fighting. Why is he fighting for the people who is not concerned about these things?
Because climate change fight, it ain't our fight. That's his fight.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be fighting for who? He's supposed to be fighting for us. Okay, let me tell you something. The Constitution says that Parliament should do what? Pass laws for the good governance of this country. That is what he was sent there to do. To fight, to pass laws for the good governance. If these things, the Freedom of Information Act, and all of these things, the National Development Plan, which he said that he would reconstitute, we haven't heard anything about that. Okay, and these things they are not concerned about good governance. All they're concerned about is getting in and getting as much out for themselves. They're not concerned about the things that would give good governance. That is not their priority when they get in there, okay? And that's why these things will never happen. And so this Mr. Davis and his government should be fired for dereliction of duty because they have failed to pass laws for the good governance of this country, and that is the jobs of parliamentarians, to pass laws for the good governance of this country. And I hope in the next election that the Bahamian people will put people in there who will pass laws for the benefit of the Bahamian people. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate your telephone call. I don't know what options you can come down from the sky. We need a political manna from heaven to come down so we can have those options. And even then, people can say, well, why the hell you ain't just give us onion? We was living good. With the whole politician. That's just what's going to happen. What options we have? You have the FNM, you have the PLP. You have a historical value associated with what they've done. Despite the change in the figurehead, the body is still the same. And for most cases, most of us don't like to talk about this, maybe because the other two heads are hidden, but each political organization is a monster. They have more than two heads. They have a head that you see that's presented from a political standpoint, from a social standpoint. You can identify and be able to say that this person is the leader. However, there are other heads that sit behind these curtains. It's a monster. You believe by changing the figurehead that you'll change the concept. You believe by changing the theory, the idea, the motto, the banner in which the organization will be able to thrive under for a period in time. It's going to change everything. That's not going to happen. I don't know when y'all going to realize something. Maslow's hierarchy of needs start to talk about these particular things before you can get to a position of self-actualization. We've talked about this before. We've spoken about this with clarity, with sobriety. We had a very clear understanding. For you to be able to get to the pinnacle of this particular state, for you to get to the pinnacle of this, you have to go through a few steps. And one of those steps is being able to ensure that you could feed and clothe yourself. The Prime Minister has gone through many of these steps, and he's as a content man. He's now looking to be able to establish his legacy outside of the parameters of this country. The Prime Minister is working on self-actualization outside of the Bahamas. He has been Brave Davis without this position of Prime Minister. Yeah. So now he's testing the global waters of what he can do. And he realizes that this is his wheelbarrow. This is buggy. This is his cart that can carry him into that space. He's self-actualizing. Whilst you're trying to survive, he is coming to a point of self-actualization. That is why I say that there are two campaigns running in this country. Next telephone call. Caller, go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Howard Grant.
Hey, baby, what's up?
Sound a little offish the other day in your voice.
I have a little head cold, a little bit, but I feel
can
good.
Hear it.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you, when the Prime Minister spoke about their 3-year accomplishment to the Bahamian people when he addressed us, did he taunt and bragged about his climate change run?
No.
Oh.
No.
And he's pushing so hard for it, but that was not one of his...
I listened to it, I listened to it, and I was supposed to take my time out and scrutinize it and bring it on the show and talk about it. But I listened to him, and it didn't give me enough information. It didn't speak with clarity and this sort of a wide, expansive something that we've done in 3 years. It hit a couple points, bop, 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 and then he expanded those points. But he didn't go on to anything more than those few points that he continued to be able to talk about. And so I listened to that, and I cannot remember. Now, I could be wrong because I only watched it once. I have to go watch it again. But I cannot remember him actually making any specific indication about climate change.
Because I'm thinking to myself, why is he...
climate change in a local campaign? That ain't a local.
Climate change is not important. But why is he running climate change so much and leaving us in the back and saying... He's telling us what doesn't matter to us when we are telling him what matters to us. Yet he's chasing climate change all over the world, so that should be one of his accomplishments. And I want him to remember when time comes for him to start their, really get into their campaign phase of re-election, I need him to remember that when he get on that stage, I want him to put forward how hard he worked on our behalf for climate change and how important it is to us. So we could then make up our mind how important it is. We'll show him there and then.
Wow.
So I want him to remember that. Put that in your forefront because apparently that is your portfolio. Your entire portfolio is climate change.
Wow.
Our lives don't matter. You waited for the very last minute. You waited for hours before the gas stations were supposed to shut down and go on strike. Then you jump up and say, oh, I feel their pain. I feel what they're going through. All these 3 years, you didn't feel it until the very last minute because you wanted to see if they were man and woman of their word. So remember, please, tell us about your climate change on the campaign trail. That's all we want to hear. Nothing else, because nothing else matters.
My God. I appreciate your telephone call, my dear. Thank you so very kindly. Next call on the line. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Howard. How are you doing?
Hi, good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Look here. How effective do you think political live debates will be where all candidates who are vying for a particular constituency appear in the area they want to represent to answer questions relative to the socio-economic questions, as opposed to as opposed to rallies where people standing up getting drunk, listening to jokes.
Just gonna see. So local campaigns are only mimic and mirror what national campaigns are. National campaigns are about denigration, about degradation, about being able to demoralize people, and trying to be able to do that within the fines of good sportsman-like thing. It will not be good. Let me tell you why. You have to educate a populace before you start to be able to give them information. We have to be educated, whether that's an objective that we take on.
You remember what?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
You have kids.
No, I'm not talking about.
With master's degrees.
No. But I'm not talking about the 3 R's. I'm not talking reading, writing, arithmetic. There isn't social participation. We don't have social participation in our community enough in these live debates and talking about points that really matter for social productivity, as opposed to those things that are tantalizing, to those things that are salacious. We need education.
I'll say this to you. I heard you. I've been listening to you very attentively. You spoke about we being in a quagmire and where to go. Even the callers are saying it, right? But we need innovative leaders. You have persons right now who are vying and lobbying to these respective parties for nomination. Why can't you send them? You don't have to, if the government don't want to come or the opposition don't want to come, send these 2-3 persons in these various areas and let them answer questions. We have enough town halls, parks that can do these things. But we can't sit back and wait on the government or the opposition to lead the charge because it isn't going to happen. You have the mic in your hand.
I like what you're saying.
You have the mic in your hand.
I like what you're saying. You say innovation. I push innovation every day. I push innovation and creativity, but I cannot do that from a governmental standpoint. Government is not matured enough to understand that. If the Prime Minister shifted the entire tone of this country, the Prime Minister shifted the entire tone of what's happening in this country over the past 6 weeks by saying one thing. The Prime Minister of this country, he said one thing. He said that Michael Pintard seemed to be a water boy for the Grand Bahama Port Authority. And that changed everything. Everybody coming out.
It didn't change everything for me. It didn't change everything because I'm not in, me personally.
Because you ain't running for government.
Right now, Howard.
You ain't running for party. You ain't running for government.
No, but I'm not interested in no rhetoric. I mean, we have real socio-economic issues in this country, And I'm not interested in no water boy, delivery boy, nothing like that. I want to hear your vision, your socio-economic vision on how we can move this country forward. If the Prime Minister want to do it, the opposition could do it. Your persons right now lobbying privately for, I'm trying to get nomination.
Yeah.
And they're going to use the same old foolishness that got us in the quagmire by having political rallies where people standing up on podium cracking jokes. I mean, why should I, Howard? Why should I find out that someone don't have common sense and intelligence, cannot think critically on their feet after I would have voted for them? Shouldn't I be able to find out before I vote for them?
But you got to go do your own investigation. I appreciate your call, my brother. Thank you so much for your telephone call. You got to do your own investigation. You got listen to me, man. And we're going to have to come to reality. we're going to have a come to Jesus moment about things that really matter in this country. Nobody care about telling you nothing but your constituency. People in your constituency, for the most part, they ain't care about voting for your idea. You broke just like us. Can we be honest? You believe that our desire, we could will this to happen. Oh my God, I want to will this to happen. No, we can't will this to happen. We have been conditioned, ingrained in our thinking, anchored in a concept and an idea that is leading us into a ditch, a hole. And there is no one innovative enough to be able to shift the language from a position of power in our country to be able to move towards progression and growth. It's not happening. No one. When Dr. Chris Curry, took on this kind of position, him and those persons who were associated with it, being able to identify and pull some people together to have this debate. The debate already had all kind of stipulations. All these things they want stipulated, and all these things that you talk to them first, they want you to talk like this. They want to know the questions beforehand. They did none of them prepared. They ill prepared about issues that matter in this country. They need you to give them a script so they could tell you and sound good. This is what's happening in this country. You go do that debate. You know who's going to win? The independent. Those persons who are truly in tune with their constituency. But will you vote for the independent? So, if you're not going to vote for them, why are we wasting our time having this kind of a conversation? That's why I said we need to be educated. And the education starts with the next generation. The education starts with a very clear understanding that some of these stiff-necked persons who have committed themselves to an idea of politics in this country, they're going to have to die out, literally. Figuratively speaking and literally speaking, these persons will have to die out before we can be able to see a true blossom of innovation and creativity take its place, and take root in our country. Yeah, and I believe that with these kind of conversations that we're having, this engagement that we're having with Guardian Radio and all those innovation and all those progressive conversations that continue to push the envelope, I believe that we are breaking up the fallow ground. I believe that we are. I believe that. But, it's not going to be instant gratification. It's not going to happen swiftly. It's going to be a persistent push for us to be able to see the change, to know that we contributed to that. Even with the introduction of the radio airwaves being opened back in 1992 with Hubert Ingram, it started to push this envelope. But there were design voices, there were constructed voices, there were a lot of persons who already had their, taken their little envelope. Talk to me, can I say this? They were taking their little envelope. And so they spoke on behalf of those persons who took care of them. This is what's been happening over the years. And so now you have this kind of try to be able to present yourself balanced in your position. And you have a few persons come in and say, yeah, I agree with you. But for the most part, you're not going to see that from a political standpoint. As much as I just try my hardest to sit here with balance, to sit here with transparency, to sit here with honesty, to talk about issues that present itself before us, I'm still viewed as an F&M. Isn't that bananas? I mean, for me, it's bananas. For you, it's, oh, hell yeah, how would you say F&M? I care nothing about these people. Nothing. I care nothing about them. Any affiliation I have with the FNM or the PLP, I won't go in there to reform my constituency, my community. I care nothing about an agenda to be able to get rich. I care nothing about it. But I'm still viewed in the light of what you thought you saw me as yesterday. This is bananas. That is the thinking that we have in this country. Unless and until we can be able to elevate beyond that, this is where we're going to be. Quick break. I see your telephone calls. Be right back after this.
Foundation.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Bonneville Bones, established in 1970, is the leader in men's fashion in the Bahamas. We're conveniently located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza, and fully stocked with everything you need for all occasions. Our Harbor Bay location is one door north of Alive, with the black and white signage of Bonneville Boutique. Both locations are open from 10 to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Bonneville Bones and Bonneville Boutique, still the leader in men's fashion. Located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport Convenience Stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama Market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News Sales Representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, straight to the lines. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Howard.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, this is the blind one. For
Hey, what's up, Papa?
I on a speaker talking to your breakup phone because my cordless what I normally talk on. I was on hold so long and the battery gone dead.
Okay, go ahead, Papa.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was tuning in. Howard, you touched so much points today. Howard, don't fight me, right?
I ain't gonna fight you.
Can I just be decent and say?
Go ahead.
Howard, I'm so impressed. And Howard, please don't get it mixed up. The thing is all about saying what I want to say or you being on my run. It's nothing to do with that. I'm impressed what I'm hearing, not just from the Guardian station, but especially from you. You're still down the middle.
I try my hardest.
You're not pulling any punches right now. That's all we ask from you. Don't fight me, Howard.
I ain't gonna fight you.
Just trying to say it like how Howard Grant said.
I appreciate you, Papa.
Yeah. So listen, like I said, you touched so much points, man. Listen, I was one of them persons who received the envelope in the past.
Yeah.
I get a more independent mind now. They don't like you like when you're like this. They want you to always be in the position where you need that. So I followed that position, right? And what has happened now, what I experienced getting older, when I don't have it, really do it out. Before I make that call or you to, like, back in the days, I didn't care what you say or who you say or what you tell people because I guess I was more desperate, in need, making sure the children straight and all that. Well, we learned to give thanks, and when I was able to make a penny, I try to do sense with it. I know that make people mad who could see, because they jealous and hateful of one another, who get all five of their sense to judge me who blind. But like I say, Howard, I remember receiving the envelope. How did you say? You say, back in the days, you used to pass the envelope, and you say, and you go, and you defend. Well, Howard, the thing is with me, saying that, and people, please understand me clearly, the difference is with me, and I sure I ain't the only one in the world this way or in the Bahamas this way, and I think they call us, I don't know if it's lobbyists or what we be doing in this political field, right?
Right.
They couldn't get me to say nothing I didn't believe in or agree with any foolishness. I guess they just they prefer me to be, and I talk about both sides. One before who was trying to be prime minister, he didn't get it. He tell me in one of them major parties, say, boy, I'd rather you to be with me than to be against me. I forget how he really put it, but I try to remember it. But the difference is with me that I didn't used to cater to them and nobody touch me, nobody do me, nobody. You know, I was insulted plenty time I feel my feelings was hurt. They show me better than they could tell me I ain't in their class. And remember, they always try to remember you blind. You can't see. In spite of you having a brain and a tongue. And sometimes I think they wish I was anyhow. So Howard, I suggest even to, I don't know if that was Cleaver or what. See, I was saying too, we got to start taking it and going to the rallies and say, no, see, people is be hurting. That's what they prey on us with.
Yeah.
Prey on people, average people, or no, not average people, grassroots people or people who really in need. They use the money. That's why they can talk foolishness. That's why, like the lady say with a nice voice, I think from South Beach, Keep talking about climate change. They can talk foolishness when we want them to talk with sense. You understand? And I agree when she say keep talking about it in the rally. So they take advantage of us. They see how they buy with the media and stuff like that. They use this money and stuff like that. So us Bahamian people, we got to be strong. We got to stand up. Yes, take the money, wear the shirts. They see they pay for these crowds, some of these rallies, thousands of people. They spend thousands of dollars. I being a part of it. I'm sorry to say that's an indictment or whatsoever. And I don't see so much wrong about it, because they trying to win, but we got to be strong. You need to take their money and vote them out. Don't stay home. Don't stay home, because who's to ever send them? Most people still go win. Don't stay home. You got to vote against them, smile with them like how they pretend with us. I just want to say, stop, how you always say, squeezing palms, shaking their hands. They don't deserve it. Don't let them play with your babies. Don't give them no food out your pot. Don't waste time with them. They care less what they say, because they care less what we say. They don't care about how we really feel and the things what we need done. How would you talk about over there talking about the climate change? Wait, when I hear on the news and the Prime Minister was talking, I say, I wonder if it's public information to find out who is this published. I don't know the word, mightn't be publisher. The people who write these press things for him, because I don't think he'd write it himself. And he do a good job. And anytime he go away, I'm proud to know he's my Prime Minister.
I honest to God, every time he go away, Jesus, this man is good.
Who?
Every time he go away, Papa, I say, my God, this man is good. I like this.
Oh, I thought you say I'd bring in the whole grocery store. No, I'm doing the 30 days or the little petty shop thing. I'm going to come off right now. So Howard, yes, when he go away, he do it good. So I say, who write this? Who's the speech writers for him? I say, because I wish he could take things. Listen, now he's talking about us like he care about us so much, man. Look all them people who did. Jeez, God forgive me, please. Listen, voting them out is a joke, Bahamian people. They deserve more punishment than that. So don't waste time, okay? Don't stay home and don't vote if God spares. Some of us mightn't even. I mightn't be here. Some of us mightn't be here. We don't know. We ain't promised tomorrow. But if we be here, we got to stand firm. And I talking to PLPs, especially y'all who getting treated bad, can't get social service to give you a food slip on time. This and that can't happen. Your phones call, your emails can't be returned. These people can't all like they so high and mighty now, like they forget where they come from. Listen to y'all, use this word, I still mightn't know the meaning. You reverse psychology. Or play crazy in a way. Smile with them. I know you angry, you mad, you don't like the way how they treat you. We ain't no rough, we ain't no count. We don't like bad treatment. But they think we like bad treatment. They think they can come with their contracts and their money and stuff like that. We get so much words for them, but they can't even call it.
They play you for a sucker.
Disappointing, Howard.
They play you for a sucker.
And they over there talking like they care about us so much, and come back here and saying we ain't up. Look at the gangsterism, what could happen in when you don't have finance, a campaign finance reform. The kind of foolishness. We here wondering if why he giving these big contracts. Look at the settlements, what's going on with different people. They say they can't tell us the information. The other day, you mightn't want, we ain't gonna call no name. Well, it's the big man who owned the PLP, who owned the oil company and stuff like that. He had an oil spill. They say they can fine him, but they ain't gonna tell us how much he had to pay. We don't know if he paid 10 cents or $10. And we don't know the damage of what the real cost of the work is to clean it up. I don't know if he do the work himself or whatsoever. But a lot of foolishness. These people that show you better than they could tell us. They showing us staying in our class. They don't care about us, It's all about friends, families, and others. And I think you were saying something earlier, and I could be wrong. But you know what I used to start saying? I say, well, we can't do nothing but the friends, families, and lovers. We don't really mind if they take care of their friends, families, and lovers. But stop trying to treat us that way, man. This are things. We used to boss. You're supposed to be a servant. You're wasting the maid, what is being the Jefferson, who was telling Mr. Jefferson to do things himself, man. How you could do that, man? You deserve to be fired, and they waiting for 5 years to deal with it. Now they come here talking, but they need more time. How would I must have got to pay for some time, maybe before election, if God spare my life, like 1 hour or 30 minutes. But I have so much to say. People say,
call me, Papa. Just call me. We can set that up. I'll be more than happy to host you. I appreciate your call.
I'm sorry to whosoever I know today running on, and I am not ungrateful. Howard, you know how much I want to vote PLP? You know how much I really would love to vote PLP? You know how grateful I am.
You don't think you could change your mind between now and election?
Anything is possible. Listen to me.
Okay, good.
And y'all can think what y'all want. I just know anything is possible in life. Anything, not just politics. Howard, you know how I just be saying to myself, some PLPs, not just PLPs, but people as vehemently we jealous as human beings of one another, and we don't like to see people uplift. So people love to hear me complaining and talking about how bad the PLP treat me. But Howard, I never was a show-offer. I never was to do sense with any penny I make. I give God all the thanks and praise, not the politicians' way. They're the politicians. But how would I can find something to eat? And some days I'd be hungry because of the inflation. I felt it rough. I have to borrow. I have to start things over. I talk about insurance. I try to do everything the right way. How would it be in this game ain't easy? You know it.
I know.
You could see. I just telling you because I feel it, because I blind. But thank God, God is on the throne.
Yeah.
I just want to say so much, screw this one and screw that one.
Call me, Papa. You still got my number. Call me. We can set something up.
I love the PLP, but the service and these individuals, let's keep loving the PLP and the FNM and maybe the new party or whatever. But when we have these bad apples and they don't care who they is, prime minister or whatever, we got to get rid of them and show them better. And in this game, you got to know how to play it.
I appreciate it.
Your life, smile with them. Stop
Thank you,
letting
man.
them shake your hand too much, and don't get enough food out your pot, and don't eat from them. They talking about they serving food to people.
Thank you,
Papa.
Papa.
Touch your baby and kiss your baby, man. They don't even deserve it. They disgust it. This PLP, I can say, when the PLP in power, more us eat, right? More us does eat, right? Through God, right? But this PLP, there's a bunch of spiteful, petty set of people. I never thought they would turn out that way. I thought this was the real servants we get this time. But Perry Christie is a shining armor. Ingram, Menace. Who else? Who else was there? Sir Linden. This the voice one.
Wow,
I expect
Papa.
so much from Brave, the go-to man. Look how the man turn out towards people, man.
Wow, Papa.
God. You ain't get no shame. These some shameless people. I wouldn't even talk about the police. That's another stuff. Like I said, I can pay for an hour.
Yeah, Papa, because the line's not right up. Let me let you go.
I do just as long. Sorry about that. Boy, 52. Sorry about that.
Thank you, my Papa. I appreciate your telephone call. Let me go to the next telephone call. Caller on the line. Go ahead.
Howard.
Hey.
C. Allen Johnson.
Hey, what's up, C. Allen?
I got 3 points, Howard, and I hope you entertain me on this. Let me tell you a story about a guy that worked in a wheelbarrow factory. You know, the ones with the wooden handles?
Yeah.
And he used to work from 12 to 8, and the security guard worked from 9 to 5. So the same guy who saw him go to work didn't see him leave. So here's what happened. So every day he would leave out of the gate with a wheelbarrow full of dust from the handle, you know, the shavings. And he was building this beautiful home for the future. And after about 3 years, the security at the front gate says, something is wrong. We can't understand what you're building out there. And we believe that you're stealing from us, the factory. But we cannot seem to put our hand on it. He says, just between me and you, please tell me, because we've investigated thoroughly. We've investigated, we cannot seem to put our hand on it. How are you getting the money for this? We know you're stealing, we can't tell. And he says, well, if you promise not to tell, I'm stealing wheelbarrows. What is happening is we're busy looking at the shavings in the wheelbarrow. There's somebody sitting in the factory that's billing carbon credits and a reputation in climate change. So when they get fired, they would have had everything they want. That's the wheelbarrow. We keep looking at the shavings in the wheelbarrow. Every day he took a new wheelbarrow out. But Howard, Cleveland Duncan made a very, very important point concerning debate. Let me ask you, Howard, you're running for Central Grand Bahama. You really believe that you're going to run for Central Grand Bahama, you personally, and don't understand the needs of that community, that you could have a debate to represent what you think could be solutions, and that you'd be the best to be the iron sharpened iron among other irons when you reach Parliament?
For me as an individual, I've already walked this constituency for years. I work this constituency. I know this constituency intimately. And I represent the independent. That means I know the issues, and I'm willing to articulate that and debate that.
No,
yes.
But this is what Cleveland Duncan is saying. Cleveland Duncan is saying is that you need to personalize. Forget what the major party's doing, where you go into that constituency and personalize the debate as to what the advocacy, that you understand the problems, not just understanding the problems, that your probable solution, which brings you to the same argument you made about creativity and innovation. Creativity is the ability to come up with new ideas. Innovation is the process of implementing those very same ideas to create value. Creativity is the front-end process. Innovation is ideally the result of those creativity. That's what Cleveland is talking about. This is the problem. We are taking people who we can put a shirt on and say because they represent the party, but they don't understand the problem to apply the solution.
And that has been historically that's the problem, and that problem
but
ain't
Cleaver,
changed.
I agree with Cleaver. We could disrupt that right now. Forget what the rest doing. Go into your constituency and challenge those who wants to challenge you, and let the people understand. So if you say they don't understand, I believe they do. We have a new generation of thinkers, which brings me to the third point, Howard. Are we such idiots? Are we a nation? I think my brother used to say, are we a nation? I mean, what's the other thing of? Oh, I forgot. He said something of not a city, a village of idiots, or we just have some idiots of the village running us. Listen to what I'm saying to you, Howard. We have a power company that we can't run. We say we give it to foreigners. They will run it properly. We have a water company we can't run. We have education system. The plantation that's falling apart, we can't run. We have almost Bahamas Air, almost everything. Are you telling me 50 years, billions of dollars in investments in education, that we are incapable and incompetent to such a level that we can't find some people in the village who has the competence to run these and generate profits, that it has to be in the hand of a stranger to have it run correctly? What do the stranger do? I mean, are they using different planes? Are they using different desalination plants? Are they using different generators? Are they, what is it that we are totally unaware of? The problem is our selection place of leadership. This is a concept, Howard, where you say we have a leadership failure or failure of leaders. A leadership failure is when we don't have any leaders. A failure of leadership is when you have the wrong leaders in place.
Wow.
The problem we have is that we keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I'm only saying this, Howard. This is why I say to you, Howard, if you have a real sovereign wealth fund that surrenders Bahamas Air, that surrenders the power company, that surrenders the water company, and all these other different assets that we have, and the government has no means of interfering with it, the same way you said you give it to some foreign investors, and then foreign investors will run it for profit, and you said it'll function. Well, what if the sovereign wealth fund run it as a non-profit institution for the benefit of the people without interference by government? There's something called a sovereign asset management, that where people can run things. They do this, the same sovereign wealth fund and other different people around the world, banks and other things and companies that run around the world with interference with the government. We could do the same thing.
I like it. Thank you so much for your telephone call. Let me take this quick commercial break, guys. Be right back after this.
The Foundation.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken.
Ghost pepper
wings.
Popeyes.
Now available at Popeyes in Nassau.
Popeyes.
When you jump in your Japanese import and you turn the radio on, all you hear is... For the month of September, the Hit Spot will install a band extender in your Japanese import for the discounted rate of only $79.99, VAT included. Get your band expander installed today at the Hit Spot and listen to
Star 106.5.
Plus, get fresh news and smart talk on
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect, being able to chop these things down, have a good conversation with you. I enjoy this today. I enjoy this kind of engagement today. I feel, I don't know, maybe that ginseng and thing that I'm taking from Miss Yang over at Ancient Chinese Secrets. She should be with us this Thursday. But I feel alive. I feel energized. And I feel there is clarity and sort of clairvoyance about these issues that make no sense to me. And with honesty, as we talk about these things and we discuss this and I bring this to you, I know who I'm speaking to. I know my audience. I know you guys. I know your thinking pattern. I know when I'm going to get significant pushback for what I've been talking about. We've been doing this for a while now. I know how to be able to get a rise out of you. And I know over the years how to be able to ensure that I could create concepts that are maybe socially taboo. How do I make it palatable and appeasing and appealing to you? I know that. And so we work this out. I think we get to learn each other. And as of late, I just wanted to take off that formality. I just wanted to take off that guard, that insulator between you and I, right? That insulator of formality, right? And be able to put a conductor to that. Yeah. Let's wrap it in copper. Let's wrap it in something that actually conducts, and we could really feel the electricity between you and I as we have these real social issues that matter. But I do realize that I'm not talking to 300,000 people. I do realize that. I do realize that I'm not talking to grassroots for the most part. I don't know if you're listening to Howard Grant, if you're listening to Guardian Radio, and you identify yourself as a grassroots, maybe that was in the inception, but this is a space of transfiguration. Can I say that? I just want to be decent. This is a space of transformation. That when you hear us, you cannot leave here the same. If you open up your mind, if you have a very clear understanding, and you listen to us on this space, as we dissect this information that comes to us on a day-to-day basis and say to you, this is garbage. Oh, this is good. Well, we like this if they added this, this, and this. This is bland. As you listen to us, your mind is now in tune with what's happening locally, nationally, or internationally. And these kind of conversations that we're having is said to me, I keep listening to me. Just keep inching it, to see whether or not this is be acceptable. And I say, you know what, let's just have this conversation. And I realize that this is the way that we need to talk with each other. We got to be honest and real. This kind of a political formality and, to be able to be politically correct and socially palatable is just doing none of us any good. It's not helping the government with constructive criticism for them to understand where they're fumbling. It is not helping the society who needs to make a decision of who we're going to vote for or who we're going to vote against. And this kind of a concept of just being able to vote against someone that's done with. You're not just going to go there and vote against the PLP. That is silly. That's silly. By the time as we're finished with our series, at the end, because we start next week Tuesday, God Spare Our Lives, by the time as we're done with our series, we're going to have a number of persons that we support. I think that this person will do good if you put them back there. I promise you, oh Jesus, we're going to take this platform right here, the foundation, and we're going to certify and identify men and women that we could be able to support 100% in their various constituencies. And some of y'all, we're going to put a certification to say that we don't believe in you. We don't believe that you could do whatever the hell you're trying to lie to us about. We believe that you should be done away with. Oh my God, when I finished with the 39 of y'all I did, one person called me so far, Jomo Campbell. Call your MP. Well, don't call your MP. That don't make a difference to me. I don't care if you call them or they call me. That don't make a difference to me. I don't care. Jomo Campbell called Howard Grant. I went there and I saw what Jomo was doing. I was thoroughly impressed. I was. Howard, only take this. No. I spoke to some people in the Centerville area. I spoke to those persons, and I want to be able to say that I was impressed with what Jomo was doing. Only Jomo called me so far because your pride and your elevated position is too high to call Howard Eisen nobody. You remember that song? I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can say. You remember that? Yeah, I ain't nobody. Let me read some of these texts, guys. I see the lines are lit up. I probably got time for no text. No, let me read some of these. I got time for no calls. Howard, you ain't lying. There's a text that coming through. Howard, you ain't lying. All due respect, no Bahamian would be interested in no investigation. December 31st, we would be into gifts and John Bull. And that ham and turkey, that's the truth. That's the text is coming through. It says, good day, Howard. From they send that man home with pay and some fancy name that won't even show up for his work record. I know ain't nothing coming out of Johnson case. Howard, only the air now left for the PLP to tax. Jesus, that's the text is coming through. December 31st, 2024 is the resolution when we the broke, drunk, and happy for John Canoe. We are the biggest conks. That's the text is coming through. It says, Howard, we need a commission of inquiry now. How about the 6 men killed on Jerome Avenue? The second mass murder. They can't kind the missing tyranny, right? That's the text is coming through. So it says, this is a lot of text you sent. I can't read all this. So it says, people defending Puff Daddy is a case of an attack against a successful black man. Don't fully comprehend what he's charged with. According to the indictment read by the prosecutor, people were drugged and made to participate in sexual orgies for days and filmed unbeknownst to them. It says that the people would be left so depleted that they had to be put on IV fluids to recover. That's crazy. I thought they were using the baby oil as drips. This is too much. Then he says they literally threaten women into sex slavery. This is an indictment. Yeah, y'all should send a lot of them to jail. A lot of them. They're indecent. These children only want to be able to sing with their voice, and you treat them like that. Let's just be decent. It says, I feel that the Prime Minister does not care about Bahamians, what Bahamians want. He only caters to foreigners. It's like money talks and Bahamians walks. That's the reason for all the beautiful sidewalks. This is heavy stuff. Let's see if we can read the next one. It says the Prime Minister is trying to use this climate change matter as his legacy, but I believe he was advised wrong. I believe it will be his demise. No. The Prime Minister is well on course to be able to fulfill his objective as it relates to being able to ensure that his legacy lives on far beyond this Bahama land. His legacy is already established here. The Prime Minister is already, he has his psychological needs taken care of. He's already taken care of the safety and security of his family. He has a love and belongings, his friendship, his family, his intimacy, and his sense of connection. These are already taken care of. His self-esteem is taken care of, which is his confidence, his achievement, and the respect for others, the need to be a unique individual. The Prime Minister has climbed Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and now he's getting to self-actualization, which is his creativity, which is his spontaneity, which is his acceptance. This is not from a local standpoint. He's succeeded. He's ascended beyond this borders of the country. He's going into the world. Win, lose, or draw, the Prime Minister going out into the great unknown. That's what the objective is. The Prime Minister is going out. Climate change is taking him out. None of us see Al Gore, but I sure he's make money from all of this. None of us. I can't even get no amen. Okay. Kerry making money off this. The man who was called a flip-flopper. Okay. So let's see if we can read one more text before we say good afternoon, Howard. I said from the onset of the police investigation, you have to go where the evidence take you. How can you make plans like a vacation? This is bananas. Howard, Brave is a sham. There's a text is coming through. But he gave a good speech, right? Okay, this is a text is coming through. The question is, where does the funding go? And what's the purpose, what these things are being used for? Guys, I want to thank you so much for your participation. Thank you so much for being able to join in the conversation with us today. Tomorrow, we can dive into it. First hour, we're going to have the men's mobile ministry, men's mobile mission coming down with Pastor Mario, and Minister K is going to be here. And so